Okay. Okay, so this is our topic for today, the opening for our topic for today. Speak your mind. Please share a happy incident and a challenging situation in your life. What was one example of happy incident, one example of challenging situation? Anyone? Okay, let me go first. One happy incident I would say is passing an exam. Passing an exam is something really, really happy for me. Okay, so that's one. Number two, a challenging situation is usually be faced at work. That's one example. Of course, we have challenging situation at so many places. Work is one. Okay, so I have both. Sometimes I have happiness, sometimes I have a challenging situation. Anybody else would like to share? How do you regard a happy incident for you? K. Saras Mataji.
I'm thinking, Mataji.
Okay. Rajina Mataji is here. Welcome. Param Prabhu.
I'm trying to recall.
So much. Okay. Devi Mataji, are you? Is it convenient for you to speak?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, just give one example, Mataji.
During the birth of my first son, first child.
Oh, I can understand that. Is it after a very long time, Mataji?
No, no, no.
Okay, so that's the happiness anyways, right? Okay, challenging situation, Mataji. Any example of a challenging situation in your life?
Still try to recall.
It's either you never had, which is good, or it's too much. You don't know which one to recall. Okay. Kala Mataji, are you able to speak? Wow, it's nice to see a lot of you say that, you sometimes you cannot make it or you'll be late, but I can see all are here. So thank you so much. Okay. Rajina Mataji, are you able to speak? One happy incident, one challenging situation.
Okay. Can I give an incident that is happy and challenging at the same time?
Oh, yes, can. So which one, good news first or bad news first?
So one news. The
Okay,
same one, I think childbirth was a very challenging situation, but at the same time, it made me very happy.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Okay, so the conclusion here is that this is the conclusion, all right? What is this?
Life is a combination of both good and bad.
Yes. What else?
Life is a combination of sad and happy.
Yin and yang.
Yes, combination of happiness and distress. So our happiness can be coming from various reasons, causes. It's not very difficult to find out what's the cause of our happiness. Okay. How about suffering? Okay. When we have suffering, we feel sadness. When we have something to celebrate, then we have happiness. So this is a combination. Like it or not, we have these two. Okay. In the same day, we may feel these two incidents. Oh, today we feel happy, tomorrow we feel distressed. So today's topic is why am I suffering? So, but before that, we want to understand the cause of suffering, that all of us undergo suffering, and nobody can deny that you cannot deny that you don't have a problem. So you cannot say that you don't have a problem. Okay, everybody has problems. So this week we want to understand the cause of suffering. So before that, a little recap from our week one. I hope you all remember. What was the week one's topic? What was the first week topic? Humans ask questions. Difference between human and animals. The difference is that human ask questions. Do you all remember? Okay, so what kind of questions do we ask?
Who are we?
Yes, who am I? Then,
Who is God?
okay.
Where is God?
No.
Why I am
Why are we
suffering?
suffering?
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhu.
who am I think is among those is I mean must be a spiritual person, right? The rest of them I think not bothered to ask.
Yes, correct, Prabhu. I understand what you're trying to say. So
Yeah.
there can be two kinds of questions, material questions and philosophical or spiritual questions. So we are talking about the spiritual or philosophical questions. So these are the three questions. Who am I? What is the second one? I think Devi Mataji mentioned just now. What was it, Mataji?
Why
Why
am
am I
I
suffering?
suffering?
Yes, very good. Why am I suffering?
I am
And
suffering.
Who is God?
who is God? Very good. So these are the self-realization questions. So you can just name it philosophical questions or spiritual or self-realization, because you are trying to realize yourself. First, we are trying to realize our own self, and these are the
But
questions.
I
that
think
we ask.
Mataji,
Yes.
who is God or is God real? A lot of people will ask.
Yes. Is there God?
Ah,
Why Krishna is God?
I think there is
Yeah.
more than who is God.
Yeah, who is God? So first, when you're already on a spiritual path, you're already agreeing that there is a supreme
God.
creator,
Yes.
and you just now you are finding out who is God. Okay, so these are the questions. Okay, so for those who they don't believe in God, so probably they won't be taking a step at all. Okay, so they will go on with their life thinking that science is God, everything is matter, like that. But once you are spiritual, then all the spirit, super soul, spirit soul, all these questions will come in. Yes, okay. So, I mean, this question, like who is God, Krishna actually already explained in our Bhagavad Gita level 1. Okay, so we have touched so many verses where he spoke about himself. Okay, what God does, how great is God. So usually we will say God is great. So next question, how great he is. This is what we learned in Bhagavad Gita in level 1. Okay, so yes, these questions are only asked by spiritual seekers, okay, not ordinary human beings. What to speak of animals? Okay, these are meant for self-realization. So when you ask questions, you have an assignment question, you need to find a resources to get your answers. So where do you go? These are the sources of knowledge. So what did we learn in week 2? What are the sources of knowledge available and the best? And then from there, we found out which is the best source of knowledge. So what did we learn in week 2? Anybody can say anything about this sources of knowledge?
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna?
Pratisha, and
Methods of learning, right?
Sources of knowledge. Where can we get
Yeah,
information?
hearing is one of them.
Yes, hearing. How many more are there?
Anumana,
Yes,
Anumana.
okay. Hearing.
Abhisha, Abhisha,
Yes. So these are called proofs, right? 3 types of pramanas.
Proof.
Pramana,
Ah,
yes, pramana means proofs. Okay, so we have 3 kinds of proof. One is pratyaksha. What is pratyaksha?
direct sense.
Direct sense perception. Anything that you absorb using our senses, eyes, ears, nose,
Yes.
yes,
mouth.
all the 5 senses.
Yes, and all your working senses also, like your hands and legs, all that. Okay, so we have knowledge acquiring senses, we have working senses. So this was in chapter 13. Okay.
Abana,
Anumana means
is inference.
inference.
Weakness of knowledge.
Correct. So after you got the information, you run your hypotheses, your diagnoses, and then you try to make a conclusion. So your conclusion is limited to what we are perceiving. Okay, so that's a bit related. So sometimes when you do not have sufficient information, then you make speculations. Okay, so in banking line, we may not have, let's say like we want to do a projection, like a stress test or projection, and we may not have full information, access to full information. So what we do, we make assumptions. We make assumptions, and our projections will be based on that assumption. Let's say the assumption was not done accurately or properly, then the conclusion will be wrong. So you'll be probably wrongly projecting things. Okay, instead of you projecting, you should have more capital. Suddenly you projected less capital. So when incident happens, habis, not enough. Then Bank Negara will impose penalty. So the bank has to pay. So this is how I can relate in our current life. So how important is that pratyaksha to be perfect, for you to have a perfect anumana? Okay, so there we saw there were defects in pratyaksha, remember? Okay, so if your pratyaksha is imperfect, then your anumana is imperfect. So what is the next one? The third one.
Sabda.
Sabda, very good. Okay, yeah, sabda.
Yeah.
Sabda is hearing.
Hearing.
Okay, so again, pramana literally means, if you direct translate from Sanskrit, it means proof. And this proof means knowledge. Okay, this is pramana. Okay, pramana should lead to knowledge. For any answers, we go to these sources of knowledge. Okay, very good. So every week I do this recap, and I can see 90% of you all can speak about this already. Okay, so continue. Pratyaksha has a limitation. Okay, let me put all that. Now, this exactly means direct perception of senses. Okay, anumana involves speculation or inference based on observation. Sabda means hearing. Why pratyaksha is imperfect? There are 4 defects, there are 4 defects for pratyaksha. Anybody can recall all the 4?
Imperfect senses.
Imperfect senses,
Very good.
commit mistakes,
Yes.
then to be illusion,
Yes.
Cheating propensity.
Yeah. cheating program.
Yes. Very good. Okay, so remember the boy went to take water in the kitchen in the dark, and then he suddenly stepped on rope, but he thought it was snake, and then he dropped the glass. And when the parents came and asked what happened, he said nothing. Okay, so that is the flow. So a lot of things is happening like this. Okay. Okay, so the best one of all these 3 methods, it was concluded that hearing was the best. Okay, because it was hearing basically sastras. In the beginning, right, in the beginning of time, things were passed down, knowledge was passed down by hearing, shruti. Okay, Krishna spoke to Brahma, Brahma spoke to Narada Muni, Narada Muni spoke to Vyasadeva. But as the age degrades, people were having lack of memory power, focus, anxiety, easily disturbed. All these symptoms of Kali Yuga started to come in. So when these symptoms started to come in, Veda Vyasadeva realized that people do not have a strong memory power like how people had in Satya Yuga or Treta Yuga or Dwapara Yuga. Then he started providing Vedas in written form. He asked all his disciples to start writing. Okay, so those are the sastras. That's the only difference. Okay, but it's all started from hearing. Okay, and when our guru speaks to us, that is hearing. So because they have heard from their guru, that guru has heard from their guru. So like that, it goes back all the way to Krishna. So the hearing is deemed as best. Now, can we believe everything that we hear? That also, our philosophy says that there are certain ways you can verify whether your hearing is blind or reasonable. So how do you know whether what you're hearing is based on blind faith or reasonable faith? Somebody is driving, is it? I can hear like car sound. Okay. So what is that? How do we know what we are hearing is blind or reasonable? How do you differentiate that?
Reasonable is based on
You do checking.
right?
Authority. Is it authority?
Yeah. Blind faith is emotional.
Yeah. Okay, Lata Mataji, see, by verifying. Okay, yes, verifiable, sensible. Of course, there are a few other things that it should be authorized, it should be authenticated. Okay, so we covered all this in week 2. Okay, so now we are moving to week 3. What did we do in week 3? I hope you all know that we are on week 4 today. Yeah, so week 3. Week 3, we covered the first self-realization question. What was it?
Who am I?
Yes, who am I? Okay, so under this topic, what we have learned, pretty much covered this in great depth and length in chapter 2. Okay, however, it was more like a refresher. Okay, so I could see that during this week, all of you could actually answer a lot of things because you all had the understanding in level 1. So we went to understand the general proof of existence of soul. So how did we do this? We had this near-death experience, outside body experience stories. We had reincarnation stories. Okay. So we don't say I watch or I body. We say my watch, my body. So who is the owner? Okay, the owner is the soul that resides in our body. Okay, and then we went further to understand what is soul. So for this, we relied on the best source of knowledge, which is the Sabda Pramana. So what was our source of knowledge? It was Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. Bhagavad Gita spoken by Krishna, and then Upanishad is part of the whole Vedic tree. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke about how the soul transfers from child to youth, to old age, to death. And then when the body destroyed, the soul passes to another body. And how the soul goes to another body, it carries the impression from the previous births to the future body. Okay. And then what do you call this? It's like a change of garment. Just like we change garment, the soul also changed the body. And then from the Upanishad, we understood the size of the soul. Who remembers the size of the soul?
1 over 10,000.
Yes. Yes.
Tip of the
correct.
hair.
Yes. Okay. So I hope you all remember that. All right. Anybody remember what Upanishad is that? So if you remember, you can tell us or put in the chat. Okay. And then we saw how the transfer of soul from one body to another. Okay, so basically this is the knowledge about soul. Okay, and then of course there is characteristic of soul that you cannot be killed or broken, you cannot be moistened or dried or chopped or whatever. You can't do anything. Okay, but the tiny soul is the same size in the body of an ant or even an elephant. It's the same size. That day somebody asked question, does the soul the size of the soul differ from body to body? No, because the Upanishad already established that is the tip of the hair 10,000. Sveta Svatara Upanishad, very good. Thank you, Roja Mataji. Okay, so this brings us to the next question. Why am I suffering? So how was your day, all of you today? Did you have any sufferings today?
No.
No, very good, Prabhu. Very blessed day. It's a blessed Friday then. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, so again, we went back to the yin and yang, the picture, right? So there is positive, there's negative, there's good and bad. Okay, so let's talk about the good ones first. Feeling better than yesterday. Yay, very good. So it's a Friday, right? So what can give you happiness? Share your thoughts.
Health.
Health. Wow, you hit the bullseye, Prabhu. For some, it's wealth. For some, it's health. Some say, well, health is wealth. Okay. So which is better? Healthiest people or wealthiest people? Who are happy?
Healthy people.
Healthy people.
Healthy people, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, so this happiness coming from wealth, we will see, we will see later. But what I'm trying to say here is that this happiness, does it give us full happiness even if it is a wealth or even if it is health? Okay, does it give us happiness for eternity, does it?
No, there are other factors.
No.
Yes. So what we are trying to characterize here is that the happiness can be
Health is one of them.
Yes, health is one of it. Okay. So the challenge is here is that not to be to achieve that happiness. Okay. And because the nature of the happiness is momentary, it's temporary, we have a challenge. The challenge is to remain happy. Okay, we may not be happy yesterday, or we were staying in the hostel and college, and today we are back with family. Yay, so happy. Okay, then Monday go back to college. So it's like that, like a cycle of summer and winter season. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2.15, Krishna said that. Krishna said that the appearance and appearance of the happiness and distress is like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer season. So it will come one time, winter comes, and then sometimes the summer comes. So again, the winter comes and the summer comes. And Krishna say a sober person is not bewildered by such a change, because he knows this is temporary. Okay, when the happiness is temporary, the distress is also temporary. So he won't get overly disturbed with that. Okay, he knows this will over soon, or this also shall pass soon, you know, that kind of thing. So all this coming from Krishna's word from Bhagavad Gita. Okay, what else? Yes, temporary. Okay, another way you can look at it is that probably if you give a 10 ringgit for a child, for them, they will be like, oh, so good. I can buy so many sweets. Okay, if I every day I buy 2 sweets, this one I can buy a bag of sweets. But if you give the 10 ringgit to an adult, then they feel like, oh, this is just like 1 cent for them. So for them, it's not happy for them to have that 10 ringgit. Probably they need to 1 million, then they'll be happy. For a billionaire, 1 million is nothing for him. Probably he needs a zillion, you know. So it's always relative. Okay. So with that, can money bring complete happiness? Okay, I think you all know that to an extent, yes, it gives happiness. But let's focus on why it can't bring happiness. What do you think? Your thoughts again. What do you think about rich people?
They are not completely, they are not happy.
Yeah, what could be the reason?
Some happy, some not happy.
Some happy, yes, some not happy. So let's focus on why they are not happy.
Sometimes they live in fear.
Live in
Too
fear.
much of money is there. There's a fear that's all. You know, somebody is after them or something will.
Yeah.
You know, what's the point of all the money, but you live in fear, or your own family also will come after you.
Yes, there will be no peace in the family.
No peace in the family. They're coming for money, right? Yeah. Okay. And sometimes they don't genuine. Okay, let's look at this picture. Why there is a dog with some food on the plate, and there is a rich man next to the dog having the same kind of food on his plate as well?
Because I think he's only got a dog to take. His family is no more there. You can have all the fair money. You don't have a wife or a child or anything, or even a relation.
He's lonely. He's lonely.
Only.
His friend is only the dog.
Dog is man's best friend. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that's not the answer.
Oh.
Or maybe he appreciates the dog more than than human being.
Okay. What else? Why they're showing food? Well, they could have shown something else if the dog is his best friend. Food. What do you think?
Maybe he cannot take that food over. It's not suitable food for him.
Okay, some more. He can take the food. But why?
It's not exactly same. The dog don't have a glass of wine, I think.
I think they photo got cropped. What else? What could it be?
Maybe he has eaten everything. He doesn't know what else to eat.
No. Come, someone think. I know Friday must have been a tiring working day, but let's think a bit. Who has not tried? Please try. Come.
It's a dog biscuit, right?
I think it's. I think the
There's a
food is
biscuit in front of
suitable.
him. His plate.
Okay, I really don't know why there's a dog food on his plate.
That's it. That's it. That's why I was thinking it was not his food.
Yeah, I don't know why the organizer put this picture though.
Mataji,
Okay.
I think probably he's so lonely that he has to have a dog for his company.
Yeah, that's why earlier Param Prabhu and Saras Mataji all said. What else?
They both need food to survive.
Okay.
To be contented, they need food also.
To be happy also, they need food.
Okay, so I revealed the answer. Okay, this VIP is so rich, but again, like somebody said earlier, they are so afraid that they will be robbed. What maximum could happen?
It'll be only lonely lah.
Okay, what else?
I think he's giving the same food to the dog because he's scared somebody will poison him.
Yes.
But
If you have the money, you will have fear that somebody will poison.
Yeah,
So the
somebody
same
will.
food is given to the dog to test and see whether the dog dies first.
Wow, finally.
Wow.
Very good, Mataji. Yes, that's the answer.
Yeah,
Luckily, I
Mataji can be
didn't reveal.
detective lah.
Yeah. Mataji, I think you can crack codes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's
And the
too
police
rich.
department.
Yeah. So he's so rich that he can actually afford a dog to test the food before he eats. So what kind of fearful life it is, right? So
Yes,
okay,
But the
so
dog is not smiling at all.
that's why I think the dog is so sad. I became a lab rat. Okay, so yeah.
Oh, maybe it's the other way. Let the dog test the food first, then only you will eat the same thing. The dog is the tester here.
Yeah, dog is the tester here. The dog will be eating the food first. If there is no
Then he will
reaction, yes, then the rich man will eat. Yeah, so they are using dog to test. So cruel, isn't it? Dog. Okay, so
looks like dog's food.
yeah, Mataji, I think I need to raise this to the organizer. I think this
It
picture.
looks like dog's food.
Yeah, why
I
would
thought he's eating the dog's food.
That's what I was thinking too.
I wonder why. Or maybe his own food is not safe. That's why he has to take dog's food. I don't know.
Nobody want to poison the dog food.
Oh yeah.
They
my
want to
dog-
poison him.
My dog was poisoned, Prabhu. So sad. He has to die. He died. People poisoned him and he died.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because it was a Malay area. So
Yeah, the same thing my friend was telling.
yeah.
In Teramban.
Only some people can appreciate that. It's okay. You have got a dog is very good. Even if there is thieves around, it alerts everybody. But not everybody is positive about it. So for them, it's a nuisance when dogs keep barking. Especially when our dog, we see cockroach also wants to bark. So it's but it's very cruel for them to poison a living entity like that. Okay. All right. So next picture. What is this? What can you see here?
Bodyguards.
Bodyguards. Why bodyguards?
Three bodyguards.
I don't have the picture, Mataji.
Maybe it's coming slowly at your side. So this guy is so rich and he needs not 1, 3 bodyguards. So when you have bodyguards, if you have seen movies, right? They always you can see the celebrity. They're annoyed because they don't have a private life. Everything has to be in the eyes of the bodyguard because the bodyguard has duties to protect them. So everything has to be in front of their eyes. So everywhere they go, they are monitored. And some places they can't go because they have to be protected. Okay, so they're just doing their duty, but at the same time, the celebrity or these rich people, they don't have privacy. Okay, so this is to show that money will not bring complete happiness. Okay, so that's that point. And then generally, humans have different conception about being happy. Okay, for me, what makes me happy could be different from what keeps you happy. Okay, but generally speaking, This illustration here on this slide will be generally speaking, all right? So once a child join a school, okay, what will be your happiness? Do you remember when you were in secondary school, what could be your ultimate happiness?
Meeting
Imagine
friends.
meeting friends, okay.
New friends, new subjects.
Okay. What will be your happiness? What is your milestone? What is the milestone that you will achieve that it gives you the happiness? Yay, I did it.
Grades.
For me,
Pass exam.
yeah, passing exam. Yeah, for me, the pressure was so high that my only target in my life was like pass SPM with first grade. So the moment I passed and I got first grade, I was like, now what? What is next? So I did not see further what lies ahead. After that, after you complete SPM, then you step to, for myself, I went to STPM. And then my next target was, okay, I'll be happy after I complete my STPM. Okay, I get this grades. Okay. So after you complete your STPM, what would you be happy about?
University.
University. So you want to put first option, second option, third option, and you want to get your favorite university and you want to get your favorite course. Okay. After you get that, are you happy?
Go to work.
With what type of
Or
job?
do PhD.
Job.
Yes, that could be that also. But first, once you enter in the university, it's not about and just entering. It's about completing your papers within your 3
The
years.
assignment
If
and
no, you're
everything.
gonna extend. So the moment you get your degree, then you feel like, yay, happy. But
The
is that
achievement.
all?
No.
Not enough. Like Param Prabhu say, go PhD. Some people, okay, not enough. I'm going to go to master. Okay, yay.
Survive in the stock market. Now it's a
Yes,
hurdle.
correct. After that, get a good job. So are you happy now?
No.
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 Better job.
Yes.
It
Better
continues.
job.
No
Okay, so
satisfaction. No satisfaction.
no satisfied, not satisfied.
No.
I don't know if I have told you all before because I learned economics. So when we went to Form 4, that was the first time you are seeing economic subject. So when we had this economic subject in Form 4, the first chapter, the first thing is about define economy. So economy is defined like this. It's about utilizing the limited resources, okay, to meet the needs of to meet the requirement of unlimited need of human. You have limited resources and
Yeah.
you have unlimited need of human.
The human, yes.
Yeah, so that is a fact of life, like you never get
Everything.
satisfied. Yeah, so that is economy. All right, so
Transport, everything.
yeah.
So many need.
Kasthuri Mataji, just now you said that word by economics. Is it by one Punjabi fellow, the author?
Ranjit Singh Malhi.
Yeah. Now I remember.
I think that is a very universal definition.
Yeah, that book. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, yes.
Just remember when you said that.
You did economics, Mataji?
No. I did what is that? The AB, admin business executive. So one of the subject we have to take economics.
Ah, very good, Mataji.
So
Elephant memory.
I remember that word. Yeah.
It is so true. It is so true, right? Even when you talk about spiritually also, we have very limited resources and we are exploiting it to meet the unlimited needs of human. Okay, so after getting a job, of course, getting a job is something like after that you want to get more, better job, better pay, better company, better package. So after that, are you done with life?
No end of it.
No end.
You keep on achieving, try to get some more.
Okay, what about that? A part of job. What is your next milestone in life?
Getting settled down.
Settling down.
With what?
Getting married.
Yes, getting married. If you don't want to, your parents, okay, time's up. You need to settle down. Okay, it's never settling down, right? Getting married, it's like run even faster, like that. Okay, so when you get married, your commitment increase and you have to get better job. Okay, you have to get better job, you have to work harder. Okay, after you get married, Or while you want to get married, what do you do?
Start a family.
Before that?
Before that, buy a house.
Yeah, you must build a house. It's always a target.
Buy properties.
You're marrying that boy has a house. Is that his own house or parents' house? I've seen these people ask. Yeah, so even when the girl doesn't have problem with that, but the girl's parents will ask, is that his own house or family house? Okay, so we want to build a house. Okay, nowadays a girl or boy, everybody wants to build a house for security. Okay, now that you are starting a family, so assume that you already have children. So what is your next happiness?
Bank balance.
Your children just growing now.
Yeah.
You want to aim for a good school for a kid. Okay, you apply here, apply there. Finally, you got a good school for kids. You are
Smart school.
happy.
It's a smart school.
Yeah, smart school, reputable school.
Reputable.
Yeah.
Famous.
So and then it goes on again, this cycle again and again. Now our children will go through this one. So we can never be happy ever after joining a school. Cannot be happy ever after completing SPM. So the journey continues and continues and continues. So do we ever lead a ever happy life? The problem here is that this picture. Who can explain this picture? You all are very good already. Can you all explain this picture? Kush Mataji, welcome.
First one is.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Okay, you just came, Mataji.
Then explain.
I came about 15 minutes back.
Oh my God, you've got beetle here. Hang on.
Whatever.
The beetle.
What is that? Beetle.
Yeah, I will try.
Kush Mataji, maybe you can explain while I'm not here.
Okay. Yeah, so from the three pictures, right, when we are young, we don't have that much money, but then we have the time and we have more time and energy in our lives to actually do things and achieve things. And then when we start working, we are so consumed by our work that we have no time, but we are earning money. And, if we use all our energy to just earn more and more money for our lifetime. And when we get old, we don't have the energy, but we have all the time and the money in the world now. So,
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So in all these, thank you so much, Mataji. So in all these three situations, none of them like fully happy. There's always something lacking, right? You don't have the full contentment. Yeah. So have you been in this situation? Actually, yes, it's so true. So how do you want to enjoy this? Okay, it's hard. You can try. It's hard. Okay. So why we have problems in life, or why we are not happy in life? This one we can relate to the three kinds of miseries. Anybody remember three kinds of miseries?
Never say enough.
Never say enough. Okay. But do you all remember the three types of miseries we covered in level 1? Do these terms ring a bell?
Death, Mataji.
No, we will come to that later. These are miseries in life, problems in the cause of problems. Causes. We are not going to the problem yet. We are going to the cause of the problems. So generally, the problems are caused by these three things: Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika.
Adi Bhautika.
Okay, what can you remember? Anybody can remember anything about these words? Three words.
Like a mind.
Okay.
Body and mind.
Okay, Adhyatmika, body and mind.
Sufferings brought by others to us.
Which is?
Living entities.
Bhautika or Daivika? Roja Mataji.
Bhautika.
Bhautika is by miseries caused by other living entities. Adhyatmika, miseries caused by our own mind and body. Sendiri cari pasal. Sendiri stress. Like that. Adi Daivika.
Disaster.
What kind of disaster? Caused by us, caused by others?
Natural disaster. Like the beetle.
No, that one is Adi Bhautika, other living entities.
Are you staying here?
Earthquake. Earthquake. Yeah.
Adi Daivika is okay. So very clever already. So that means the next slides I can go really fast. Okay, so let's do this. Can tell again all the 3 words?
Adhyatmika,
Adi
Adibhautika, and Adidevika.
Very good. Okay, let's go through that again. Adhyatmika is
Mika.
those miseries which arise from
Body and mind.
Mind and body.
very good. Adi Bhautika, miseries
Other living entities.
other
Other
living
living beings.
Yes.
Adidavika.
Vika.
Next,
Natural calamities.
Nature disaster.
yes, over which no one has control. So these are the ones. Okay, so try to let that sink in. So there are 3 types of misery. Whatever problem that we are facing in life, it boils down to these 3 categories. Okay, it will not run from these 3. Okay, so you cannot, everybody has to go through this. Everybody goes through this. Okay, so more pictures. I think this one I covered in level 1. So I'll just run through. Okay, so misery caused by one's mind and body. So we see the impact, right? So it gives a, yeah, somebody's mic is noisy. Okay. So we can see all the suicidals, all this caused by this own mind and body.
Shooting.
Alright. Yes. Prabhu, what is that?
Shooting.
Sorry?
Shooting.
Shooting. Yeah.
A lot in America.
Yeah, the recent
Yes.
Texas one, right? He's a disturbed person. I don't know what happened to him, why he did that. I don't know. Anybody knows why he did that? What caused him to do that? I mean, he didn't.
That is body and mind.
At the end, he killed himself also, isn't it? But before that, he killed other people.
Yes.
I don't know why they have to do that.
He was under depression.
Depression. So when you feel depressed, you should just go and play some video game and shoot, right? Instead of shooting people. Okay, so that's the one. So this is some statistics about youths that were attempting to commit suicide. So I think the highest depression and commit suicide level is Korea and Japanese, one of the highest. I think Korea is number 1. Japan,
Japan
Prabhu,
used to be number 1
Korea.
earlier.
Oh, so Korea took over.
I think Korea took over.
Yeah, I think
Earlier days is Japan.
Japan, yeah, so stressful. Okay,
Even
next.
children,
Children, that's really sad.
Youth.
Actually, Malaysia also have that, right? Because too much pressure on the exam. Okay, misery is caused by others.
COVID time also we had some cases, right?
Yeah, everybody locked in the house.
No, people jump.
Because they're locked in the house. They got locked in the
They
house.
jump from the building.
Yeah, that's right. So this happens when they are not
Maybe
able
some
to.
lose business or what.
Yes. Prabhu.
You owe
Okay.
people money, then your business is down, closed.
Yeah, that's
Possibly.
right. Yes, okay. So next is misery is caused by other living entities. Stress from people at work, stress from COVID virus, stress from flying insects.
Bill Gates.
Yeah, so that's one. Yeah. Okay, so here, even if one's body, mind are healthy, other living being like enemy, boss, colleague, relative, family member, terrorist, bedbug, mosquito, etc. is sure to bring some misery. Okay, so next. Caused by nature. Caused by nature. Okay, very easy. We have things like tsunami, forest fire, cyclones, earthquakes. So we have statistics, what kind of damages these natural disasters cause. All right. So why are these
What is that?
It's a small beetle, right, Mataji?
Prabhu, I cannot take it when it's flying.
No, it's a small beetle, right?
No, it's a bit hurt.
No, you can hold it, no problem.
I cannot. Wait, let me call my
Living
daughter.
entities.
This is something I do when there's a bee in the room.
Oh, there's living entities or caused by living entities.
Yeah,
Finally, she had a suffering day.
You stay where you like.
Mataji suffering.
Stay here. When the beetle fly, you catch and throw outside. What? You take a plastic tupper or whatever.
No,
Mataji,
don't
you
feed
should
it.
add
Just
this.
hold it and send it out.
Mataji, you should add this here also.
Your Mataji is too scared to do all.
Caused by nature, by beetles, by cockroaches.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is this one. This one.
Caused by living entities. So,
This one,
here
this-
also living
This is
entities.
Adi Bhautika.
This
No.
the simple for us.
Oh my God, my heart.
Mataji, there's a small one, right?
No, it's not small. It's Amma size. No, it's not. It's like
Big one,
like
the
a
black
thumb
one.
size, like a thumb size, you know.
Ah,
No, it's a beetle. You stay here. Shh. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, misery caused by nature. Okay, we will go through this.
that's quick.
Okay, so now,
Nami.
yes. So why these sufferings are coming upon us? Why some places there are natural disasters, some places no natural disasters? Why some are affected by insect, why some are not? Why some are committing suicide, why some are not? Why some people having problems, why some not having problems? So why these sufferings?
Karma.
Very good. Okay, why these sufferings? Karmic reactions. When we try to stop some suffering, when we try to manage it, and that will cause us other sufferings. So sufferings over
Chain.
sufferings.
Chain reaction.
Okay, so when we want to understand why we are suffering, we always turn to the right source of knowledge. Again, what we learned in week 2, we are bringing in here. So the best way to get the knowledge is the sabda. We already learned that. So now we are learning, we are under the Gita Gyan, right? So our best knowledge is coming from Krishna. Okay, so Krishna is, so before that, how do we stop this suffering? We turn to knowledge, like I mentioned earlier, we turn to knowledge. And from that knowledge, we want to find out, could there be a place without sufferings? Okay, so now Krishna, we are going to hear from Krishna. Krishna said, yes, there is a place where you don't have suffering. So this is all about turning to the right source of knowledge. Okay, Shama is not there. You sure?
Sorry, Mataji, I have to leave now. Mataji, sorry, very, very sorry. I hope you will send me the recording. I'm very, very
Yes.
sorry, Mataji.
Can. I will send Mataji. Yes, thanks.
Sorry, very sorry.
Okay, you go later. I'll call you if that is flying again. Can you please key it on the room? No, I cannot. You catch and throw it. No. Okay. Okay, so here Krishna is talking about the nature of material world in 8.15. Can we have somebody to read the English translation?
Okay, I'll read. Mataji. Where is it?
Can see, Prabhu?
Okay. Hold on. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in the devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. So can you see this picture at the top? This is Himalaya. Okay, Hima means snow or ice. So when you go to Himalaya, naturally you will see snow. That is why it is called Himalaya. Alaya means place. Alayam means place. So it's a Himalaya, place of snow. You cannot go and find lava there. You can only find snow. So similarly, this material world is Krishna, according to Krishna. Okay, I'm not saying it. Krishna is saying Dukkha Alayam. Dukkha means miseries. Okay, Dukkha, the Malay word is coming from the Sanskrit word Dukkha. Or in Tamil also we have Dukkam. right? So this is dukkhalayam, full of misery. So this is nature of Himalaya. This is nature of material world. One is full of hima or snow, one is full of miseries. And Krishna also giving characteristics of this material world, which is temporary and
full of miseries.
Temporary and full of miseries. Okay, so again, somehow or another, we will face disturbance from one or two or all of the miseries. Okay, so if you're unlucky, then we have all three. Okay, so here on the contrary, Krishna is talking, this was 8.15. So a little more advancing into Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is revealing, on the contrary, there is a place where there is no suffering. Okay, what place is that? It's described here in 15.6. Anybody who like to speak, who have not been speaking? Divya Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, are you able to read the English translation?
Yeah. That supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
Okay, so
Sorry, I'm
here,
lagging.
yeah, thank you, Mataji. So this is the nature of spiritual world. What is Krishna saying here? Who would like to? Okay, I would like to ask this question to Sivaneswaran Prabhu. Is it convenient to speak? If no, who else? Saras K. Mataji.
Try. So
Yeah.
the supreme abode of mind, which means the kingdom of Krishna, is not lit by the sun or moon or fire or electricity. So, but when we reach there, we'll never return.
Yeah, so there are two things.
Happy.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So there are two things Krishna is saying. Just like our material world is illumined by sun or moon, so a spiritual world doesn't need that. Okay, that's one characteristic. Another one, Krishna say, once you go there, you don't come back here unless, of course, there is a minute free will that we have there. Okay, all right. So otherwise, you will not have sufferings that for you to have reactions on things that you do that will require you to take another birth. No, like here, like it or not, our reactions is going to cause us to take another birth, whether you do good things or bad things. Because in spiritual world, you are doing karma, you are doing devotional service, which does not give you reactions. Okay, so this is what Krishna is promising. Those who reach, you will never return to this material world. So earlier, Krishna said, in material world, situation is temporary and full of miseries. Okay, so this one,
the names is talking about going back to Gokulam.
Yes, that's Goloka, correct. Gokulam, yes. Okay, so it's not illumined by the sun or moon or by fire or electricity. And he promises that we will never return to this material world. So remember, this material world is just a small part of the entire creation, just like our Penjara Sungai Buloh is a small part of our entire Malaysia. So we have to come out from the Penjara Sungai Buloh. Is it still there? I don't know. Okay, we have to come out from there and stay outside of the bigger portion of the Malaysia, not confined to that small cage in the prison. So basically that is the analogy here. Okay, so this material world is a prison house. So we want to go out of this. So there's more enjoyment outside. So why want to contain ourselves in the small material world? All right. Okay, so that is the nature of spiritual world and material world. Okay. So, okay, this is like a quick recap. So in spiritual world, the happiness is eternal. Okay, which means blissful, whereas the material world, it is temporary and full of miseries. So this is the conclusion from the two verses earlier. Okay, so this is in Bhagavad Gita. Now that we know that happiness is temporary and we have suffering, and what kind of factors that contribute to the suffering, we saw the 3 types of miseries. Now we are going into problems. Miseries line, cause of miseries line. Now we are going into problem. What is a problem to you? What do you think is a problem to you? A problem to you may not be a problem to me. A problem to me may not be a problem to you. But generally, there should be a concept, right? Why a problem is a problem, right? Why? Please share your thoughts. When you categorize something a problem, okay, now we have a problem. Why did that happen?
Things don't work the way you want to.
Oh, so good. Some more? Something which we don't want.
And then you don't get what you want.
Yes, very good.
The end result.
Correct. Something which we don't want, but we get it. Something which we want, but we don't get it. Okay, so these are the problems. This is when we conclude that we have a problem. Now, going further, there are 2 kinds of problem. Okay, one is a relative problem. Like I said, what could be a problem to me may not be a problem to you. What could be a problem would not be my problem. Okay, maybe Lata Mataji having an exam problem, but I don't have an exam problem. I have children problem, Lata Mataji doesn't have that problem. Okay, so it's relative. We do not have the same problem. Okay, only to us, but not to others. Today I may have a problem, tomorrow I may not have the problem. So this is a problem only at certain time. Okay, and some problem we can avoid, some problem we can't avoid. Okay, sometimes traffic jam is a problem, but we can avoid if you're taking MRT. But sometimes you can't avoid if the MRT has a problem, right?
MRT breakdown.
Yeah, so it's luck, all right? Sometimes you can avoid, sometimes you can't avoid. Okay, now that is relative problem. Let's go to the real problem that you and I and everybody else have that. Anybody would like to guess what is that problem that everybody has it? Okay, before we reveal the answer, let me show you some characteristics of this problem. Yeah, these problems is common to all. Everybody have that. Like it or not, today or tomorrow, you will have to face that. And then this problem, nobody wants it. Of course, nobody wants a problem. Okay, and this one nobody cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it by taking MRT or taking a drone to office. It's not like that. You can't solve these problems. Yes, that is just one of it. So before that, I'm going to show some words here, some situations here, and you all need to categorize whether it's a relative problem or a real problem. Okay, I may have given out some clues earlier. So let's see. Exams, relative problem or real problem?
Relative.
Relative, yes. Terrorism.
Real.
Are all countries affected by terrorism?
No.
No.
So it is a
Relative as well.
relative. Corruption.
Relative.
Real.
Corruption.
It's a thin line, right? But what do you think? You have to choose A or B only, no subjective answer. It's not like sejauh manakah corruption is a relative problem. So we cannot answer like that.
Relative.
Relative.
Relative,
Yes.
correct.
Earthquake.
Relative.
Relative. Disease.
Disease. Real.
Relative.
But you talk about COVID.
Let's talk about disease generally. Does everybody get it, or does only certain people get it? You're talking about the entire lifetime, yeah? Entire lifetime.
Relative.
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 So can there be a person who is free from disease from the moment he is born until he dies? So that's how you decide whether it's a relative or real.
Relative.
Okay, relative or real. So we still have 50-50, yeah? Okay, let's put Let's put on the chat who finds that disease is a relative problem and who says the real is a real problem.
Real problem to Mataji.
It's a real problem.
Real problem.
It's a real problem because in your lifetime, one day you will fall sick.
Okay.
Real problem.
Is there a person who never falls sick?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Is it? Can we go?
But we talk about majority lah.
Real problem.
Real problem. Nobody can avoid it.
Nobody can avoid it. Yeah, Sastras can't be wrong, isn't it? Old age.
Real problem.
Real problem.
Okay, everybody
Death
gets
also
old,
real.
right? Nobody is awet muda. Okay, we cannot get the, like in the movie of the pirates, they go and take some water from the fountain of youth. We don't have that. You buy time by using botox and things, but eventually that will go off. Yeah, fade away. Next, death.
Real.
Everybody dies. Okay, nobody is immortal. Okay, stress.
Relative.
Relative. Okay, not everybody is stressed. Anxiety.
Relative.
Unemployment.
Relative.
Pollution.
Relative.
Relative, that's a solution.
Yeah. Pollution, generally all the countries in the world, they have pollution. But do you know Bhutan is a pollution-free place? It's not fully pollution-free. It has the very least pollution, like very, very less carbons content in their air. But they are number one in the least polluted country. So even they also have pollutions, but that does not mean that it's a real problem. It's manageable.
What about Tibet?
Which is?
Tibet.
Yeah, is Tibet?
They never do anything. What? All sit in the cave, right?
That's why, Prabhu, I don't know the statistic is Bhutan or Tibet. If I'm not mistaken, the documentary I saw was Bhutan. Tibet, I don't know. I'm sure these are all statistical thing, right? So I think it's Bhutan.
To inform you, Bhutan by itself, the independent. Tibet is under China now.
Yeah, now under China.
Under China, so it's still China's polluted.
Bhutan is Nepal, right?
Bhutan is, no, it's not under Nepal. It is by itself.
Oh, I see.
Country by itself.
Country by itself. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that is least pollution. Okay. So now we go to the real problems. So we are trying to categorize. So from here, what are the real problems that we concluded?
Old age,
disease, death.
Okay. Is anything missing here? Okay, we will see. The real problems are, who can tell?
Okay.
Did we cover everything just now? Real problems? Is there anything missing? Lata Mataji? Do you remember anything?
birth, is it?
Sorry, Mataji?
Birth.
Yeah. Birth, death, old age, disease. These are the four real problems. Anything other than this are relative problem, which means either it may not happen to everybody, it can be managed, or it happens today, it doesn't happen tomorrow. These are the ways that you distinguish between real problem and relative problems. All other problems are relative. So now we see that like earlier, Mataji shared that the challenge in her life was giving birth, but that giving birth itself is a happiness. So why, when people are born, when child is born, everybody is so happy? But do you think that birth process is a very pleasant one at all? Okay, it's really not. We don't talk about just the birth process. It's the pre-birth process, the contract. Gosh, I had that for 2 days, couldn't sleep. Okay, so it's definitely not a easy thing. So birth. Now the pain is not only for the mother. The Bhagavatam says that it's a painful experience for the living entity. Okay, so please mute your mic. Okay. All right. So for 9 months, the fetus lies inside the cramped room, and the room is very dark. And then it suffers from the scorching of the mother's gastric fire. Okay. And then it frequently it's jolted by sudden movements. And then it feels, it always feels constant pressure from being in the small sac. Okay, what else? And then the baby has to be like arched in a certain way for a long time. And then it is also mentioned that there are hungry worms inside the womb, and it will be tormenting the child. Okay, and a child is in that situation for a long time. So this is the misery of birth. Okay, so it is said that yes, because the childbirth is not painful only for the mother, it is also traumatic and stressful for the baby. Okay, next is disease. So this has not much to say, but however, I want to share what Prabhupada says about it. Prabhupada says that this body is a Vyadi Mandiram. Okay, Vyadi Mandiram means, how do you translate that, Param Prabhu? Vyadi Mandiram.
Vyadi. Disease accumulated.
Mandiram means temple. It's a temple of disease.
Temple.
Yeah?
Temple of disease.
Yes. So he said, the Prabhupada says that as long as we have a material body, there must be some kind of trouble. Okay, so the Ayurveda concluded that the main reason or one of the reason why people fall ill is because of stress. Okay, when stress attacks us, the body loses the balance to manage the changes that's happening around us. So the body cannot resist or manage that. So when the system goes down, that's where the body succumbs to illness. Okay, so it cannot adjust adequately. So the energy in the body become imbalanced. So this is where we have all the dosha, kapha, vata, pitta, all that. Okay, so all that. So if you learn Ayurveda, you will know what kind of food to eat when you have too much of kapha, too much of pitta, too much of vata, something like that, right? Okay, so you have that. So the result of this imbalance of energy of the body due to the stress, because of the stress, the body cannot function well to fight the disease. To fight the situation surrounding us, it is going to cause disease. Okay, so when Prabhupada, those days no WhatsApp or Telegram or email for Prabhupada. Prabhupada writes letter to his disciples. So when he signs his letters, he will say, I hope this meets you in good health. Okay, so this means Prabhupada gives very high priority for the disciples' health condition, health life. Okay, including cleanliness, exercise, and proper diet. Okay, when he gets to know that the disciple is not well, he will say, please first take care of your health. After that, only you do others. Okay, if you're not well and you keep doing the things, and everything will be topsy-turvy. Okay, so he will say, sometimes he will say, tell the devotees, suspend whatever work you're doing now, take complete rest. So this body, even though it's just a vessel, it's just temporary, we are changing it like dress. However, it is given to us for some reason. So we have to utilize it well. Okay, we have to take care of the body. So it is not sinful to take care of the body. It's just that we don't be body conscious over excessively. Okay, so we are done with birth, we are done with disease. Now this is old age. Okay, in chapter 13.8 to 12, Krishna says this, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. So this is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, and that is why we are saying this is real problem. Okay, nobody wants to get old. We all have been children one time. We all going to get old, and we cannot complain about it. Okay, and people want to chucho here, chucho there, take a lot of things like collagens, all that, because they're buying time. And because of this, the cosmetic industry is thriving, flourishing. Okay, and some more, what they do, they kill animals to feed that need. All right, so like, you know, those days, I don't know whether it's still happening now. I used to know that the lipsticks is made from the lining from the calves intestines or stomach, something like that. So it's a cruel industry. So now you have cosmetic industry saying that it's vegan, animal test free, you know, things like that. So somehow they need to flourish. They have to sustain in the business. Now, what is so painful about death? What is happening here? What can you see? What is moving here?
Scorpion.
Why scorpion? Why I put scorpion here?
When you die, feel many thousand and biting you. Many of scorpions biting.
Yes. Where this information comes from? It is coming from Garuda Purana. Okay. Garuda Purana is a conversation between Lord Vishnu and Garuda. Okay. So it is said that the death is extremely painful. Okay. And the dying person experience a pain. Okay. The mic is okay. Let me see. Okay. Should be okay now. Okay, so it is mentioned that the death is extremely painful and the dying person experience pain like a stinging of 40,000 scorpions biting simultaneously, not one after one, okay, simultaneously all together. Okay, so the fact that is that the soul has been habituated inside the body. So just like how the landlord, the tenant, if didn't pay the rent, the landlord has to pull him out of the house and chase him out. So you know how painful for the tenant to go out of the house. So like that, the soul has been in our body. So when the time comes for the soul to come out from the body, it's a very painful experience. Okay, so therefore the death is real problem in that sense. It's painful. Okay. All right, so I think that's about it. Nothing much to talk here, all right?
The pain is for everybody, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Sometimes people say die peacefully in sleep, right? We don't know what is happening to them because they are not there to tell us. Sometimes people, when they die in sleep, we say they died peacefully. So we don't know what happens to them when they are dying peacefully, right? But other than that, the death is painful. Okay, it says that they can't hear, they can't talk, they can't see, they can't do anything. They're totally out of control. They can't do anything. But anyway, because this fact was given in Garuda Purana, so that it should be true then, right? Okay, so it's extremely fearful and painful. However, it is inevitable. Everybody has to go through that. Okay, so who is this?
Muhammad Ali.
Let's see what he says.
I can drown a drink of water and kill a dead tree. Wait till you see Muhammad Ali.
Boxing legend Muhammad Ali has died. The 74-year-old had been increasingly frail after being hospitalized several times, most recently for respiratory issues. His health issues were complicated by the Parkinson's disease he suffered for the past 3 decades. The former heavyweight champion was at one point the most recognizable person in the world, known for his bold proclamations.
I never talk about who's going to stop me. Well, ain't nobody going to stop me. Not a heavyweight in the world fast enough to stop me.
Ali was born Cassius Clay and rose to fame after winning an Olympic gold medal in 1960 as a light heavyweight. By 1964, he was crowned heavyweight champion of the world after defeating Sonny Liston. It was the same year he changed his name to Muhammad Ali after embracing Islam.
Who do you want me to fight? Who do the press want me to fight? Who do you think you should fight? The best man. Who is the best man? Who do you think? I don't know. I have to leave it to you. Find him.
Ali was...
Okay, so what is he saying is that, tell me who is the strongest man, I will fight him. So he was, it's like saying that he will be strong forever, but eventually Parkinson, he succumbed to his Parkinson disease and eventually he died. He also died. Okay, so even the strongest person the world was regarding him also died, succumbed to disease and also died. Okay, so nobody can be strong forever or immortal. Okay, so talking about sufferings, right? Which of these planets, if you remember this picture, we have, these are called 14 planetary system. We have 7 lower planetary system. We have 7 higher planetary system. Can you choose which loka will be free from sufferings? Who can take a guess? Which loka will be free from these 4 sufferings? These 4 problems, which is birth, death, old age, and disease. Anything? We are here in the middle, Burloka, Earth. Above, Above us is Bhuvar Loka, it's a planet of Rakshasa and ghosts. Above that is Swarga Loka, Bhur, Bhuva, Swaha. So this is the three. Yeah? Okay, which planet will be free from birth and death at least?
Is it Satyaloka?
Okay, we have Satyaloka as one answer here. Anybody else?
There's no Brahmaloka. Satyaloka is Brahma, Lord Brahma's abode.
Okay, Lord Brahma's abode. So there's no birth and death. Is it?
That's what I think. I don't know.
Okay, okay, good try, Mataji. Anybody else?
I thought even Lord Brahma dies. Doesn't live.
So how do we prove that?
I don't think so. Any of this loga we will not die. We'll sure come back, because other than we decided to go to
Is it Goloka?
Krishna's place.
Mataji, is it Goloka?
Yeah,
Goloka
so
is
in
not-
this picture, there is no Goloka. This is material creation. Okay, so this material creation, this is one universe. This is just one universe, all right? We have so many universe. And the topmost loka is Satya Loka, where Lord Brahma resides. And Tachayini Mataji says that even Lord Brahma dies. Okay, how old is our Lord Brahma? Anybody knows? How long Lord Brahma lives?
I think it's about 100.
Not
100
our
years.
100 years, it's 100 celestial years. So it goes into
But there are so
trillion.
many Brahmas in different.
Correct. So our Brahma is, how old is our Brahma? Anybody would like to take a guess? He's not that old actually. Sometimes he's depicted with a long white beard. He's not that old. But the Vedas is telling us, how old is he? Take a guess. He's not that old. He lives up to
50.
400
he lives up to 100 years, but right now, what is his age? Celestial age are not like our age.
Or is it until Kali Yoga finish 400 years?
He's actually now 50 years old.
Yes, 50 years old.
Yeah. So once this current Brahma dies, then there will be Pralaya. Okay. So until then, the world will after this Kali Yuga, 427,500 years, there will be Pralaya, and then Satya Yoga will start again. Okay. So like this, it will go on for few rounds until Lord Brahma reaches 100 years. Okay, then everything will go into Lord Vishnu and it will be silent for a while. And then the Lord will release the universes again. So that's a big topic. There's another different topic. Okay. So now, where do we get this information that even Lord Brahma's planet has birth and death? This verse 8.16. Lakshani Mataji, English, please, Mataji.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, or son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Yes, so here Krishna is saying, up to Brahma Loka, repeated birth and death take place. What to speak about the planets down here? No doubt in Swarga Loka, the people who have died and gone to Swarga Loka because of their pious credit, they're going to enjoy a lot of happy moments there. They'll have Apsaras and Gandharva, Apsaras dancing, Gandharvas singing, and they have they drink the Somaras. Okay, they'll be very happy. They might not have disease, okay, but once their account is up, their time is up, and they will come down. Same thing goes to the other lokas up to Satya Loka. Okay, so that is what Krishna says in chapter 8. And then again, like the earlier one, Krishna says, one who attains to my abode never takes birth again. Okay, so who can understand the real problem? This is also, it's like a recap, right? Animals or humans. Why humans can understand why we are suffering, what are these 4 problems, what are these 3 miseries, why we can understand that? Why? How can we understand that? What is the ability that we have to understand?
Power of thinking.
Power of thinking. Okay, when we start thinking, what do?
Analyze.
Analyze, and then
we decide what to do.
Okay, before
Find the
deciding,
root cause.
how do you find the root cause? What do you do? What is that activity that we do? Can you see this picture? Difference between animal or human and human? What is the difference again? What is the difference between human and animals?
We are.
Okay, Mataji.
They can speak, they can think.
Yes, speaking, thinking. What else? What else?
The features, features of the animal.
What am I doing now? What am I doing now? To
Yeah,
you
talking. Shabda.
Questioning.
Yes,
talking.
Questions. Back to basics. Back to basics. Why? Because human can question. We ask question. Why am I suffering? Why that person is not suffering? So how long I'm going to suffer? And why am I suffering? How to get out from this? So we ask question. But look at this goat. The goat is actually witnessing the friend is being slaughtered there. But can he go and ask the man, why are you putting me on the queue? Why are you killing my friend? Can he ask question? No. Okay, they can't ask questions. They may have studies show that when an animal sees the counterparty, the friends being slaughtered, they have some reactions. They have stress. Okay, that's why they run away, right? Because they want to defend themselves, they run away. All right, but they don't ask questions. All they know is they want to defend themselves only. Okay, that's it. Okay, this is a 1 minute Prabhupada's video.
We are trying to be happy, fighting with unhappiness.
Just hang on, yeah. Somebody's mic is noisy, got angin, I think. Okay.
But we do not know our real unhappiness are that we have to die, we have to take birth again, we have to become diseased, and we have to accept old. This is intelligence. That I am trying to solve all the problems of life by advancement of civilization, education, scientific knowledge, and so many things. That's our life. But what is the solution of these four principles of miserable condition? Birth, death, old age, and disease. And because we cannot make any solution, we set aside these four problems. We go on with the temporary problem and become busy to solve it. And in this way, we waste this valuable human form of life like the cats and dogs.
Okay, that's a very short one. So Prabhupada's point is here is that we know that we cannot solve these four problems. So we put that aside and we try to manage other problems. So like I said, as much as we want to arrange managing these problems, we end up again and again entangled in that problems more and more. Okay, so this is the story of Yudhishthira Maharaj test by Yaksha. I just make it short, right? Okay, when Pandavas went they were banished to the forest. One by one, the Pandavas went to a lake to get water. So what happened is that the deal is that the person, the Deva that's guarding this lake had a question to all the Pandavas that came to take the water from the lake. The question is that it will be revealed when Yudhishthira Maharaj goes. He says, hey, why my brothers all didn't come back? So he goes there to get the water. And then suddenly this personality comes up. Your brothers fell unconscious because they cannot answer my question before they get the water from my lake. So Yudhishthira Maharaj will ask, what is your question? So this personality will ask this question: what is the most wonderful thing in the entire universe? So this is a question. This it's what is this? It's a yaksha. There was a huge crane and it transformed into this personality, and he asked this question: what is the most wonderful thing in the entire universe? Yudhishthira will answer ahani, ahani. Like this one. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment. Okay, but a foolish living being nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death. This irony is the most wonderful thing in this world. It's like we are seeing people dying around us, but we think that we are deathless and the death will not come to us. Therefore, we are not preparing for death. Okay, so he's saying this is the most wonderful thing in this world. So, okay, so we go on managing the temporary problems in life, not preparing for the real problems. Okay, so as conclusion, life is a combination of happiness and sadness, and they are coming from three kinds of misery, three causes of miseries, okay, by our own mind and body, by other living entities, and natural disasters. And then we saw the difference between spiritual world, which gives us eternal happiness, and the nature of material world that gives us temporary happiness. Okay, it's not permanent. Happiness in this material world is like this gif, dunking time. Means he's being dunked inside, but when he comes out, he takes a brief moment of breath of air, and then he's dunked again. So it's like that. Sekejap we are happy, but most of the time here we are distressed. It's like that. Okay, drowns again in the water. This is the material life. Whereas happiness in the spiritual world is eternal bliss. Okay, happiness means absence of sadness. Okay, and happiness here is eternal. Okay, another example is like fish. The natural habitat of fish is water. It has to be in the water to feel the ultimate happiness. Once it's outside, then it's just a torturing moment of happiness. Okay, it has to come back to the world, to its own world, the water. So like that, we came from our home, our spiritual world. Okay, so we are stuck here. All right, we are taking the cycle again and again. So finally, we need to put a stop and go back to the spiritual world where we came from. No matter how much we are spending time at our job or studying or other things, eventually you come back home. That's where you feel happiness when you come back home. Okay, so similarly, all right, that is the natural habitat of fish, which is the water. Natural habitat of jivas is the spiritual world. Okay, again, material world is dukhalayam, ashasvatam, place of miseries. Okay, so here, okay, thanks for still staying. It's already 9:30 plus. Who like to read? Anybody has not spoken today would like to read the English?
I read, Mataji.
Okay, man. Thanks, Mataji.
Thus, being fixed, one must render service unto the super soul situated in one's own heart by his omnipotency. Because he is the almighty personality of Godhead, eternal and unlimited, he is the ultimate goal of life, and by worshipping him, one can end the cause of the conditioned state of existence.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is what we are facing now, the conditioned state of our existence. This is the condition. So how do we put an end to this? By worshipping Lord Krishna. That's what is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so this is a sharing on the Nectar of Holy Name. We will skip this. Okay, I will share in the PDF. And this is actually a 7 minutes video, which I will also share in the group. Okay, so we don't want to keep everybody waiting here. This is video to understand why we are suffering. So His Holiness Radhana Maharaj, he speaks very softly. So please spend some time to listen, nicely. Okay. Okay, so that's about it. Do you have anybody has any questions?
No, Mataji.
Yeah, so everything is okay. So this is our topic for today. So I hope you all remember a few things that we went through, that happiness is temporary, that we went through these 3-4 miseries. And then what else we studied today? After the 3-4 misery, what we studied? We saw the difference of nature of material world and spiritual world. And then the
Relative and real problems.
Yes, very good. The relative and real problems. Okay, and then we saw the different explanation for this. And which place has eternal happiness? We know that. Okay, of all this 14 planetary system, none of the places is free from birth and death. Okay, so I will share the PDF so you can read the slides on the holy name and sharing its essence. Okay, please share. That is also a way of preaching. Okay, so sorry for that 8 minutes terbabas. Think no question, then we can call it a night. Tomorrow is Nirjala Ekadasi. Nirjala means no water. If you can fast without water. If you can't, just take water and you can fast. If no, you can just take fruits and fast, or you can just take milk and fast, or fresh fruit juice. Okay, if you don't want to cook anything, take this very safe things. Just cut, offer, and eat that kind of food. Okay, so that's about it.